G'day folks, and welcome to Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures Revisited. We've got a fantastic lineup for you today, and some of the stuff I can't remember doing. So how do you reckon I'm travelling? I'm going to just have a look at the arapaima coming out of exotic fishing, and that is of course in Thailand. It's a magnificent man-made lake. It's got great species in it, none better than the noble arapaima. It's a rip snorter. I'm going down to Twizel, which is just halfway down the South Island of the land of the long white sheep. And Will Spry is a protege son of Mike Spry, a friend of mine who's gone to the big Murray River in the sky. He's got eyes like a hawk, and he points out some magnificent trout to me. Steve and Bushy, well, they head onto the beach in the Great Australian Bight, and they get some fantastic Australian salmon. And I'm going up to Crab Claw Island. Don't mind a crab claw or two, folks, the old mud crab. And Billy Briscoe points out some magnificent flats fishing in search of some salmon, either threadfin salmon or blue salmon. And then Bushy and Steve, well, we actually see them at their best catching a yeller right in the middle of the Otways in southern Victoria. Sit back and relax, folks. Sit back and relax, folks. Sit back and relax, folks. I hope you enjoy the show. Whew.
Hey Rex, okay, so we're hooked up with an arapaima on the fly. Like I said last week, we use both bait fishing and fly fishing. I did a whole intro, you know, and then we realized we got a bit of bad light on the camera, so we're hooked up now. And we'll play the fight portion. Okay. Whoa! What a jump! Oh my goodness. That's how people think these fish fight. Normally they don't jump, but he's doing it all for the camera, I think. We use minimum 12 weight gear. As you can imagine, I need a fair bit of oomph in the rod to get these fish in. Okay. Plano se leo. Don't get in front because he may go again. Yeah? He's still ting tong. Wow, what a beautiful fish. No, he's gonna go again. Yeah. There we go. Shorter run this time. Wow. So we use a floating line and a minimum 80-pound leader. Here we go again. Every run gets shorter. You keep looking at the rod. What, you think it's going to break? Oh boy. I put a lot of pressure on these fish. I'll try to get them in as soon as possible. It's less stress, in my opinion. But it is a big fish. Rambo. Settle out, just wait, I'm gonna bring him to you. Wait. I almost like to trick him, see if he'll swim in the net, but oh, I don't want that knot in there. Whoa, come on, head. Yes, he swam right to the net. Fantastic, whoa! Exotic fishing Thailand. Arapaima on the fly, nice tilapia fly. Slow figure 8 retrieve. Rex, you gotta get some of this action, buddy. We'll see you soon. Exotic fishing Thailand.
Oh.
Whoa! Just knit oil, perfect. We got the fly right on the tip of the mouth. Oh, excellent. We're still rolling. Yeah, let's take a look here. See the flies right on the edge of the mouth? I always worry with the fly that sometimes they're going to take it deep, but that's perfect. So we'll get him unhooked right away. There it is. Oh, fantastic. Okay.
G'day folks, and thanks for joining us on Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures in Switzerland. Yibbida Yibbida folks, no way. Welcome to the South Island of New Zealand. We've got a great show. Hope you enjoy it. Yodelady-doo. Look at that! The old bearded birdler, he's in his element. Threw it into his mouth. Unbelievable, mate.
It's just like nature. It's what we're all about.
I tell you what,
This is just fantastic.
Wagons, ho! Oh, thank your mother for the rabbits. Just when they think it's safe to come out. Unbelievable! Bang!
I guess in the end, that's probably why we all go fishing.
Back in the 1930s, that famous American novelist and fishing pioneer Zane Grey christened New Zealand the Angler's El Dorado. And today, this beautiful, sparsely populated island nation retains that well-earned reputation. It attracts keen anglers from all over the globe with this promise of big fish and clean, clear water. The South Island of New Zealand in particular is renowned as an absolute mecca for modern-day trout fishers. Trout were first introduced to this mountainous land during the middle of the 19th century, and to say that they've thrived in their new home would be a serious understatement. In the opinion of many experienced anglers, the South Island of New Zealand is today one of the finest trout fishing locations on the face of the earth. And it's not hard to see why, folks. The soaring snow-clad peaks, the icy glaciers, and the magnificent New Zealand Alps provide bountiful reserves of cold, clean water throughout the year. This snowmelt water cascades freely down the island's deep valleys towards the ocean, forming lakes, streams and mighty rivers that are a paradise on earth for wild brown and rainbow trout. And a dream come true for those of us who love to pursue these wonderful fish with rod and reel. The delightful township of Twizel, some 3.5 hours drive south of Christchurch, makes an ideal base for visiting trout anglers. It offers easy access to a wide range of rivers and lakes. And Twizel is also home to one of the finest guides in New Zealand. And guess what, folks? He's an Aussie.
Over there, Will.
Looks pretty good, Rex.
Which is fantastic. Well, folks, Lucky Star sang that absolute classic, I've been everywhere, man. Well, I haven't been, but I've added the South Island of New Zealand to my list now. And what better way to say g'day to Will Spry, an expatriate over here. Good to see you, Will.
Good to see you too, Rex.
Well, you've got some sensational country here. Why the South Island of New Zealand? Because I would say it'd be safe to say that you and your lovely wife, Shelley, and beautiful tiny tot in Wilbur, are now, well, you're New Zealanders.
Pretty much.
Why?
Well, Rex, what a great place. The scenery, the fishing, the rivers. It's pretty hard to beat all around, isn't it?
Well, I think your office is pretty darn good there, Will. Will Spry, a lot of people say Spry, that rings a bell. Well, he's the son of a gun. And of course, his famous father was instrumental in me getting into fly fishing probably 2 decades ago. And Mike Spry ran fly fishing schools in Victoria's northeast and on the border of New South Wales and Victoria. And in this particular show that dates back nearly 8 years, we caught up with him several times. Let's take a look back in time. And today I'm with Mike Spry on the Swampy Plains River in New South Wales, just at the foot of the Snowy Mountains. And Mike, this is your home.
This is my office, Rex, yep. A day's work here is like a day that's added on at the end of your life without charge. Is that what they say?
Well, I'll live to be 150 and won't a few blokes be annoyed at that?
Just bring it in quietly as it comes. Stay in touch with it. That's great.
Explain to our people right across the nation.
Okay, what we're trying to do is we're trying to present the fly down the river so it's in an absolutely dead drift situation. If we drag it a little bit, it'll swing up off the bottom.
What's that look on your face for?
Oh, no.
Go on, you got a chance in front of 2 million people to tell me what you think of him.
No, I think you're... Don't. Oh, what are you doing to me? You're a disaster.
Well, there you are, Will. Some good times that your old man and I had, and I hope that just gives you a little bit of comfort because unfortunately Mike passed away a couple of years ago, but he's left a legacy, and that's this young gun.
Thank you, Rex.
Terrific.
Yep.
Shall we go fishing?
I think we'd better.
Thank you very much. Gee, look at this over here.
Here's a nice one there, isn't he?
Yeah, look at it.
See him?
Yeah, I can.
Moving up slowly, just on the edge of the shadow there. That's great, that's great. Coming over him right there. One more. Up again, left a little. Let it go.
Slightly to the right again. There.
Okay, we'll try a change.
Change of fly?
Yep.
Right. Might be quite obvious to our fly fishing folk all around the globe what we're doing with an indicator and a nymph underneath, but probably the layman's or lay person's term, I've got to be politically correct, and I'll tell you what, I don't like it, but because ladies are still ladies and we treat them that way. But quite seriously, layman's terms, lay fisherman's terms about what we're doing.
Right. What we've got on is an emerger type pattern, which is the nymphal stage of a mayfly coming up to the surface of the river, ready to hatch out, sitting on the surface, ready to shed its skin, a bit like a snake, to turn into a winged adult, and trailing along behind it, the actual nymph itself, which lives for most of its life below the surface before it finally comes up to the surface in its sexual maturity to mate and die.
I suppose, folks, a lot of you would think, gee, the trout rise to the dry fly. I suppose it's fair to say that a majority, probably over 90 or 95% of the trout's food is taken under the surface of the water.
Quite true.
So it's no good being where the fish ain't, folks. You've got a dry fly on top and they're taking the nymph. You might as well go to the cricket. Let's change that to what you were suggesting there, Will. Look at this.
There he is.
Well, folks, what we have here is a real good example of rejection. And when we speak about selective feeding, they just don't commit suicide, Will.
No, not at the best of times, Rex.
So what do you do when you continually get a knockback and he's clearly not interested at this stage?
I like to have a pause, give them a break for 5 or 10 minutes.
Well, we've done that.
Head on upstream and come back when he's feeding a bit more actively again and try him again. It's usually those first couple of casts that are the determining factor. If they don't take it then, you've got to give them a long pause and then come back and try again later on.
What I like about the joint, folks, is that if you get done in one position, just walk 100 metres and then there's another one. Butterflies, snow, it's a beautiful country. I might be going fushing. I might move over here. Fantastic. Come on, Will.
Sneak up to this current a bit here. Try it on the drop here, Rex, where it goes from shallow into deep. Good length. Good one. Right under you. Now. There it is, strike. Good shot.
Ooh,
Well done.
He inhaled that,
that's
didn't
a
he?
nice fish too.
Didn't he inhale that?
Beautiful.
Oh, lovely
Brilliant.
brown.
Here he comes.
Didn't he just inhale that?
Nice shot.
Whoa,
And he's
wagons ho! Look at my two blokes down there getting out of the way. You idiots! Have a look at them. You idiots! Oh, wagons ho! Come on, Will.
Good fish. Nicely done, Rex. You got him on the run now.
Oh, gee whiz. You idiots!
Well done.
Oh, how good's that? Oh, boy. Didn't he inhale that? Oh, nice fish too,
Nicely done, Rex.
Oh.
Good cast, Rex. Terrific.
Yeah, look at that.
Yep, you got him there.
Hey, a beautiful male, Brown. Oh,
He's leading you on a merry
is he?
chase.
What?
Look at this. Here he goes again.
tell you what,
Oh,
no wonder you love it here, mate.
he likes me.
Oh, look at this.
Shall we
Look
grab
at
some
this.
forceps, Rex, and grab
Yeah,
him for you?
Sure, don't
Yeah.
worry.
Hey, well done.
Look at that.
Nice fish.
Look at that. I tell you what, I just
That's a
might,
pretty one.
I
You
just
do.
might just do that for Brendan and the viewers around the world, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. I'll just let him down. Oh, South Island, I tell you what, you've won me. Look at that. Doesn't come any better than that.
That's a
I'll just
ripper.
let him down and you can do the forceps job.
All right.
Good on you.
You're going to give this one the kiss, Rex.
I certainly am. Well, look how easy that's hooked. We've been at it most of the day, folks. And I can tell you now, perseverance has paid off for us. The guide has seen fish that I didn't even know existed. The bush and the human incinerator, as usual, have made fools of themselves.
There he goes.
But folks, how do you like our working conditions? With a view like that, and with you people, it don't get much better than that. What a beautiful, beautiful fish. Oh, Will Spry, Rexy shouts tonight. Congratulations,
Good
young
job,
man.
Rex. Nicely done.
Congratulations.
Nicely done.
Fantastic. That's what fishing's all about.
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
You know, folks, even a fellow like me who's been all around the world fishing, I reckon one of the great advantages in coming somewhere new is hiring the services of a guide. And then what happens is, if you're casting your selection to a trout and it's just rejecting it, you can go to the guide and he can sort of give you some advice on what the fish might be taking. He's gone.
He's gone.
The added advantage is, folks, if you don't catch a fish, you blame the guide. Thank you very much. There's mayflies and caddis under almost every stone.
Yeah. Very prolific, aren't they?
Oh, look at that.
Full of food.
Yeah,
That's how you get such a good head of big fish.
yeah.
They're there to be caught. Another 1.5 meters this side. We're going far across. Back up in here.
Well, Will, it's probably a good time to explain to our viewers why I'm not hooked up, because I don't know either. I can't cast any better than that. I'm not a great caster, but I think I've done well enough.
Rex, from my thinking, he's feeding in a very specific line, looking very specific at food. And unless we can match the lay that he's in, spot on, we're a bit unlikely to pick him up. However, the problem is that he's moving around quite a bit also, and that makes it even more difficult. Okay, Rex, we'll just head on down to this sandy part here.
Yeah.
We've got a nice clear cast from there. I'm not too likely to knock any rocks down to the water.
Well, that's like asking an elephant to only have one peanut. Will, I'm 120 kilo. Don't tell my missus. 125.
Should put you on the diet. Yeah.
125 after the beautiful cooking here in New Zealand.
Okay. There's a couple of them rising here at the moment, Rex. We've got one back in here a little closer to us. And
Yep.
the other one, you just saw him rise then in the foam line. There
Yeah.
he goes again.
Yeah.
There's one back from him a little as well. We'll just keep an eye on them. Here he comes towards us now. You can just see him across the bottom there.
Okay.
You see him drifting in?
Yes, I can.
Right in close. He's just on that secondary bubble line, just in closer here. Drifting back out again. If we're lucky, we might get him to take. Idea is to start at the end, at the bottom of the run of the pool,
Yep.
and work your way back up into them. We won't attack this guy first because the ones downstream may spook him. So we'll have a go at this one that's back down below him a little bit.
See him there.
Yep. You need to land about 2 or 3 feet above him. He's heading back into the bubble line and settle there. That's good. Good length. Spot on. That's nice. Strike there, Rex. Good shot. You got him. Nice one. Good shot.
Now that's perseverance, isn't it?
Look at that. I reckon that's a little rainbow there.
It's a
That's a
rainbow.
nice rainbow.
It is too.
Yep.
Gee, didn't he?
There he is.
He might have actually.
Oh, look at him go.
Wacko.
He's got a bit of pull, hasn't he?
I reckon we've been fishing for a brown, but I reckon he might have just come
He
in from
could've-
behind and said, "Mate, if you're not going to take it, I am."
Yeah,
Move."
seemed to slip in behind that guy, didn't he? Good shot.
It's a little bit like a vegetarian at a barbecue saying, "I'm not going to have that steak," and I say, "Well, get out of the road, Cyril. It's mine." Oh, I tell you what,
He's got a bit of go, hasn't he?
He has got a bit
He's
of
not
go.
happy about you there.
Oh,
I think he'd rather have something else in his mouth than that fly.
for sure. Oh, gee whiz.
Nice one.
What a nice fish.
Let him go. You got him on the reel there.
Yeah, I'm going to put
Good
him on the
shot.
reel. Oh, gee.
Well done.
Oh, gee,
One on one.
That little dry emerger, eh? What we did, folks, we greased up a little nymph and set it on top to sort of imitate what this bloke was feeding on with his mate. The nymphs are coming from underneath the rocks, and they're making their way to the surface of the water before they hatch out into the adult insect. And they're taking them just before they come out. Beautiful rainbow.
Isn't he a nice fish?
Oh, isn't he in sensation?
Full of spirit.
Condition. Look
That's a
at that.
great fish.
Nice male.
In great
and
condition.
hooked right in the lip. Look at that.
That's a ripper.
Gee whiz. Well, I don't reckon it gets much better than that, Will.
It's hard to beat, Rex.
It is hard to beat. And
Should we
there
let him
I
go?
look at that.
He's away.
But without sort of dwelling on the moment and getting a bit emotional about Dad, I reckon if he's looking down on us today, he'd be proud of you because you set this up. And I reckon he'd say that bald-headed fellow with the beard's come a long way since he bought his old Black Queen Jarvis Walker right up to my joint 20 years ago.
I think so.
Will Spry, the son of a gun, continuing on a family fly fishing tradition. It don't get much better than that, folks. Look at that! The old bearded birdler, he's in his element. Threw it into his mouth. Unbelievable, mate.
It's just like nature. It's what we're all about.
I tell you what, this is just fantastic. Wagons, ho! Oh, thank your mother for the rabbits. Just when they think it's safe to come out. Oh, it's not an animal! Bang!
I guess in the end, that's probably why we all go fishing.
Now the real adventure begins, Bushy. This is the start of it.
God.
We've just entered Cape Arid National Park to the east of Esperance. We've already been travelling for about 2 days in planes and trains and automobiles and everything else to get here. And Bushy, we've got about another 150 kilometres of this.
What? You're joking. What? What's happening here? Why is this man destructing our car?
Well, Ken's letting the air out of the tyres. We're going to let the pressure down to about 28 psi so that we can go through all this soft sand and mud and so on without getting bogged. There's a lot of it, Bushy. There's a lot of it. You'll be all right, mate. Look, I promise you that by the end of the day, I'm going to take you to a fishing spot that is going to be one of the prettiest places and the fishiest places that you've ever seen. I was in here in December last year. Fingers crossed there'll be as many fish there now as there was when I was here last, and I think we're going to have an absolute ball.
Well, he's been in too many fishy places and caught too many fish, so I'll bear up with the sand. Come on, let's do it.
Well, we've got a big enough support team here to restage Desert Storm, I reckon, and they're all doing their job, so we'll jump back in the vehicle and get into it.
And how far are you going?
Oh, all the way.
To the cliffs?
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you go at low tide.
Low tide?
Yeah.
With a lot of weed on the beach?
Yeah, fair bit of weed. Not too bad.
Of course, we had to get to the beach first, and that was going to take some doing. Heavy rains a few days earlier had created some rather interesting water hazards along the track.
Okay, this is the deep bit, boys. Hang on.
The fisheries trail through Cape Arid National Park doesn't see a heck of a lot of traffic, so getting stuck on it can be a bit of a drama for a single vehicle, as this local fisherman travelling in front of us discovered.
Steve to the rescue! You found a soft bit, eh? No worries.
How you going? Bushy.
Yeah, Dave.
G'day, Dave.
How you
Steve.
going?
We'll get you out of here.
No
bud.
worries, Dave. We'll get you out of here.
You take care of that end.
You have that end,
What do
Dave.
you take? Okay.
We'll get this pin out of here.
Righto, Dave. Hang on, mate. We're away. Our destination was the bush camp at Israelite Bay, and it was a relief to finally arrive and get the tents up before night fell. It had been a heck of a big day, and tomorrow promised plenty more of the same.
This is all getting arranged.
A bit of surf there. It's going to be all right when we get down there.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a real big swell. We're not all that far from the water here, but we'll go down to the rocks over there. We'll rig up some gear in a minute. Go down and see if we can catch something for lunch, eh?
Yeah, a few Tommy Ruffs or...
Yeah, there should be a few. We might even get a few salmon or a few trevally or something too. And hopefully some of those big snook. So,
Oh, yeah. So you reckon just the light gear, won't bring the heavy stuff?
yeah, we'll pull it out in a minute and dig some lures out. Go and have a go.
Sounds good to me.
All right, mate. I think this will do us. Nice flat spot.
Look at that. Couldn't you get me any closer?
Oh, no, you can probably fish out the window from where you are now. You got a herring, Bushy?
Yeah, first fish, didn't you say, Steve?
Oh, hang on. I
Mine
reckon that was a dead heat.
No, mine definitely hit the shore first.
Fair enough, but I reckon I get one for size, eh? Look at that. Look, something's chomped that herring at some stage.
Not recently.
No, it's well and truly healed up, but something's actually bitten him and he's managed to get away. But aren't they a great little fish? That's your Tommy Ruff. Known over here in Western Australia as a herring, but they're not really a herring at all. They're the kissing cousin of the Australian salmon. Yeah, the best way to pick them from a salmon is by the little black tips on the end of the tail. And also the fact that they're actually rough when you touch them. They feel rough. That's why they call them a Tommy Ruff. This is a short fin sea pike or snook. And he's absolutely nailed that lure. They're pretty good tucker, so I reckon we might hang on to this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to do a very good release on him anyway. Not a bad start for the first couple of casts.
Yeah, about 3 casts. Do we want some herring for a bit of entree?
Hang on to him as well. We'll get a feed together.
Yes, that's a little bit better. We're starting to pick up a few. It's just clusters of fish over these little sand patches. We're picking them out, putting the lures across them, and we're starting to have a bit of joy here. What a fantastic location.
Well, Bushy's just landed a little silver trevally, which are widely known as skippy here in the west. What I've actually got, I'm pretty sure, is a juvenile salmon. Yep, it's an Australian salmon. I'm not gonna try and lift this bloke out. I'm just gonna use the waves to edge him up here on the rocks. Not a bad fish. Oh, I tell you what, good fun on this light gear. And I'm not gonna horse him. I'm just gonna use the water. There we go. Beautiful fish. Oh, look at that. And he's only fairly lightly hooked, so I'm going to let this bloke go because we've kept ourselves about 24 of those beautiful herring or Tommy Ruff. So this is their bigger cousin, the Australian salmon. He's certainly well and truly legal.
I've got the little skippy.
You got the little skippy?
Yeah, they're all very similar colours, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, there goes the skippy. He's back in the water. And there goes the salmon, he's back in the water too. Oh, here's your skippy. Off you go, mate.
You just talk to the people there, Steve.
That's the great thing about this, isn't it? When you've got a school of bait like this and the birds all going on it and things splashing into them, there could be anything underneath them. There could even be a big mulloway sniffing around the edge of these. There's probably going to be sharks. We saw a sea lion before. It's all happening, so you just keep the lure in there and you never know. What we caught for you, mate?
What have you got here, boys?
A few herring.
Good. Great.
You reckon you can do something with that, lot?
I think we can cook something up for you, lot.
Okay, well,
Lovely, don't they?
I'll knock the fillets off them for you.
That'd be great.
We'll see what we can do with them.
Very good.
G'day, Bushy. How was that? A bit cold, mate?
Bit cold. The polar bears were shaking.
I tell you what, though, you smell a lot better than you did before.
Well, that wouldn't have been hard.
Well, look, we've got a big day ahead of us today. You liked Israelite, and it is a great spot, but I'm going to take you to some better spots today. We're going to go to the Bilbunya sand dunes, which I reckon are going to really blow you away, and then Point Culver and the Baxter Cliffs beyond them.
The Point, Baxter, Culver, Cliffy, yeah, that'll be really good. Is there lots of fish?
There's lots of fish.
Let's do it.
Travelling east from Israelite Bay to the Baxter Cliffs at Point Culver involves almost 100 kilometres of beach driving, with all the associated dramas of soft sand, deep drifts of seaweed and rising tides. It also took us past the awe-inspiring bulk of the amazing Bilbunya dunes.
Mate, these sand dunes are a little bit bigger when you get up close to them, aren't they?
I've been watching them for about 20 k's, they're not getting any bigger.
Well, those tallest ones are over 100 metres high, so I guess the other ones are in the 80, 90 metre range. I think they're some of the biggest sand dunes in the southern hemisphere, I'm not sure. Well, four-wheel driving in remote country like this is not without its pitfalls, and we've just come across one of them. One of the support vehicles here has stopped with a crunch, and it doesn't look good. We suspect that he's either done something pretty nasty to the rear differential or possibly even broken an axle. This vehicle is going to be getting towed from here, and that's going to slow us down a heck of a lot.
Now, the most important thing when you're on a big trip like this and disaster strikes is to keep calm. I'm still pretty calm, actually.
With the heavily laden chuck wagon in tow, we pushed on again towards Culver, keen to get a quick fishing session in before the sun disappeared behind the cliffs.
Oh, that's fantastic. When you can just walk along the beach and actually see the fish in the surf using your polarised sunglasses to cut the glare and throw a lure in front of an individual fish and see it peel off and come across and just inhale it. It's just like the sort of stuff we do up in the tropics on queenfish or threadfin salmon or whatever, but we're down here on the Great Australian Bight doing it with Australian salmon. Fantastic fun. Woo. Oh, they perform on this light gear too. Ooh. Tail walking in the sunset. I think he's got a couple of mates with him, Bushy, so keep chucking that lure in.
Do the two-step. Thank you. If I can get mine close into where Steve's is hooked up, I might even get another one.
Oh, he's a hot fish, this one, Bushy. He's running.
Have you had a look at the size of him?
Yeah, he's probably 2.5, 3 kilos. Nice fish. Pound for pound, these things are just fantastic, especially in the boisterous surf like this. The cliffs you can see behind me are the Baxter Cliffs, and they extend all the way along the Great Australian Bight from here well out into the Nullarbor. But this is where they start, right here at Point Culver. The Baxter Cliffs cut in from behind us where they were wildly scarp, and they become the cliffs along the edge of the shore. And I can't think of a better backdrop for catching these fish. Now I'm going to use this wave to just surf him up the beach. Woohoo! Oh, he's a nice fish. Oh, he's a bit bigger than I thought, Bushy. I'll get a hold of him. Oh, it's a lovely salmon. He'd be a good, probably 3.5 kilos. Have you got your pliers on, Bushy?
No, I haven't actually.
I've got mine here. I might give them to you.
Get him out for you.
Yep.
I got it.
Down there, thanks mate. Because I don't want to do him any harm.
No, I'll try and get that out. It's not badly hooked.
No, they're semi-barbless. I partially flattened the barbs. There we go, and they're out. Look at that for a gorgeous fish in this afternoon light. Just lighting up his flanks. If you grab the rod out from between my legs, Bushy.
Oh, that's a good offer.
I'll take this bloke down, give him a swim, and send him on his way. They're not bad tucker, but they're even better sport fish.
Next morning we headed up into the mighty Bilbunya Dunes for a closer look and a very special treat.
When you come across a natural phenomena that's as awesome as these Bilbunya sand dunes, I guess you've got a couple of options. You can sit and quietly contemplate man's insignificance on the landscape, or you can take a piece of polished board, wax up the bottom of it, and do this. That's what happens when you dig your feet in. I think I've swallowed half of the Bilbunya sand dunes. Good idea to wear sunglasses. Oh, the walk back up is the worst part of this sport. I'll catch you later.
All right, Rex, what I've done is bring you down here. On this sort of estuary system, what happens is as the tide's dropping, you get a window of opportunity of where the water, as it drops, pulls all the barrows and the threadfin that are living up underneath those trees, and it forces them out onto the flats. So that gives us about probably 3/4 an hour in a little bit of clear water, and about 1.5 foot of water that we can actually see them.
That's local knowledge, folks. About 12 months ago, you saw me fishing Victoria's Western Port with Johnny Stuber. Explained the same thing about the falling tide. No different wherever you go all over the globe. You go with the people who know, and it all adds up that nature, 1 and 1 always equals 2. In our world, folks, yibbida yibbida, sometimes it don't. Good looking area across there, Graham.
Beautiful. Well, we go and have a look, eh?
My word, sounds okay.
Good way, cast to the gap and let it float in underneath.
Look at the toadies in there, Graham.
Yeah, there's a million of them.
Oh, gee, he grabbed that. Graham, he grabbed that like there was no tomorrow.
Good shot, Rex.
We're just in front of that little gutter too. Wow. Did he grab that? Come here, swimming towards me. Oh, now he's not. This is quite incredible, folks. We have put in a big day. You can see here, leaking a little bit of precipitation from the body area, and we've been put it plenty back in. I can tell you now, plenty of water gone down the old gullet. And as soon as the tide changes in these tropical areas, it is an alarm clock for these fish to go. This is, Graham, you won't believe this, but still, it's a fish. This is Rex Hunt's Fishing Adventures. It's a catfish. We were all prepared for a beautiful thready because the barra would have come out by now. And I've come all the way from Melbourne to catch a catfish. There you are, Graham. You
And
can
he's
have
not a bad cat either.
I don't think I'll kiss that one, mate.
No.
There's a show on our channel, The Cat That Talks, but I tell you what, that's the cat that grabs the fly. Oh, there he is down there, Graham.
It's a thready, Rex, and it's on that gold bomber fly of yours too.
Oh, well done.
You've been feeding on those jelly prawns up and down the bank there.
Yeah.
He's a nice fish.
Yeah, there's a good fish in there. Let me jump straight into that. Look at that. It's a beautiful fish. Threadfin salmon, eh? Probably second to barramundi as the most sought after fish up here, are they?
Well, a lot of people reckon they're just as good to eat, if
Did
not
they? Look
better.
at that. Just dropped out. Well,
Took
that is
that
a
bomber fly well.
power machine. They go along and they feel with these feelers. And whoop, they stir up all the jelly prawns, and then when the jelly prawns get excited and school up, they give them what for? Threadfin salmon of Northern Australia. What a beautiful fish. I tell you what, I'd give him 3.5 kilo. Beautiful fish. There you go, mate. Off you go. And away he goes.
Shit, there is one. I got him.
Oh, well done. Good on you, Graham.
He's a small one, but he's coming this way too.
Might be a blue salmon, is it?
Yeah, it's a little blue salmon.
So what's the main difference between a blue salmon and a threadfin?
Well, they're actually a Burnett salmon, this one. They get around doing the same thing, but they grow to about 5 or 6 kilo. He's not a very big one, he's just... Yeah. But what happens with the blue salmon, they don't have the same sort of threads on the side where you see those threads down below its pectorals there. On the thread fin, they'll extend right out here. And what they do is they wheel the bait up and they hunt all those little jelly prawns together. And when there's enough of them, they roll over them, and that's what you see, those big roll-over boils. No, let him go, let him get a bit bigger, eh?
Working this bank. Oh, got him. Gee whiz. He ate that. He ate that. I tell you what, I reckon I've got a threadfin salmon on here. And they've been working the jelly prawns where showers of prawns go up in the air and these big fish go in amongst them. And here we go, it's a salmon. I know it's a blue salmon or whether it's a little thready. I'd say that's a blue salmon myself, Graham.
Yep.
That is a blue salmon, but didn't he fairly hit that beautiful, beautiful fly. He was in jelly prawn mode, and then all of a sudden, these things are quite incredible. That is a beautiful fish. That is a beautiful fish. Come here now. Come here now. We want to show you on international television. Gee, they got some power. Gee, they got some power. Look at the size of him. Wow. Well, unlike the threadfin, they haven't got as many of these barbels hanging off their throat, but still they use them to great advantage. Look, the hook just fell out. I called that my gold bomber fly. A young man that works for me back home, Lee Rayner, he tied that up. I've always liked gold for a colour. Beautiful big snub nose of a blue salmon. You're an absolute beauty, mate. I tell you what, an eating machine. Have a look at that, Noel. Get in there for the viewers. Look at that, Luna Park. Here we go. And there you go, mate. We're having a fair session here, folks. I hope you're enjoying it. This is Rex Hunt Fishing Adventures.
I'm in, Steve.
Oh, mate, that didn't take long. I'll tell you what a spot this is. Oh, beautiful fish.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
Oh, well, I told you we'd get one. And you got him.
In the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, it did not take long at all. Slip the boga grips in there. Got him. What a lovely fish, mate. Now, even though I've got hold of him through the jaw on the boga grips, I'm just going to support his body. Timber Lake. We're only about an hour past Geelong in Victoria, just a couple of hours out of Melbourne, and we're here with Rob Mead from Clearwater Fishing Tours. This is a private lake that Rob has access to, but it's a big lake. It's over 40 acres, and it's got a lot of these fish in it, including some 2 and 3 times this big. I'm going to get this bloke back in the water. Ooh, reach for the pliers. One hook's out already. I'll just open the boga grips and take them out and swap over to a thumb grip. He's biting on my finger there, he wants to go. It's always a good idea just to swim them there in the water first. It's a great time to take a photo, have a good look at the fish, show it to your mates, the fish is breathing, everything's going well, and then when he's ready, there you go. He was ready, put it there, mate. Now I'd like to catch one.
Thanks for talking about my fish so nicely, Steve. That was really good. tiger here somewhere.
Yeah, there's timber I can feel.
Yeah, I've got a bump. Hang on, what's that? Is there something else in here? Oh, you're joking.
What a little beauty, swing him up here. Now, some of these fish apparently have spawned in here, Rob was telling me, and I'd say that's one of them, maybe about 2 years old, that fish. What a little beauty, but what a good sign.
A bit overgunned with the big Calais and 10 kilo gel spun.
But look at the size of the lure he's eaten. It's a third as long as him, but they've got a fairly serious mouth on them.
Even at that age, he's a pretty aggressive fish.
I'll say. That's how they grow so fast and so big in here, by eating stuff like that. That's out. What a little beauty. It'd be great in an aquarium or something.
Aren't they lovely looking fish, the markings? Even at that age, look at that beautiful mottling along there. I reckon they're just the best looking fish.
They are.
And look at that on the tail. That's the fan.
And the little white tips on the fins.
That's just beautiful, really.
They're gorgeous fish. They look a bit like a carpet snake or a python or something, the patterning they've got. Anyway, we'll pop him back in. I tell you what, the temperature has dropped about, I reckon 10 degrees in the last hour. When we first got here, it was nice and humid and it felt like the barometer was up, but I reckon the bottom's fallen out of it now, Bushy.
I think we just missed that bite. I mean, I got that first one in about 3 minutes. Steve had a really big one that creamed him in the snags.
Yeah, we had a couple of other follows and bumps, and then typical of native fish, they just shut down. But what a fantastic spot to be able to come here just a couple of hours from Melbourne and get Rob to bring you out on the water and get connected to big native fish like that.
It's cold and that cloud's coming over too. Come on.
Oh, you're kidding me. On that little spinnerbait?
Yep, on this little rod.
Oh, good on. Look at it go. It's a golden. It's a nice golden. This is your first golden on a lure, isn't it, mate?
I've never managed to catch a golden on a lure.
You've had a few fall off before.
Oh, don't make it
this
fall
one
off. It's only a light trace, don't you?
Yeah.
Make it fall off.
That's all right. Oh, that's a beautiful fish. Oh, Bushy.
You're allowed to land it.
Yeah. No, I might just shake it off for you.
Oh,
the old comfort lift.
Look at that.
I'll tell you what, Bushy, he wasn't going to get off. Look, it's come right out through his top jaw. I'll just get a decent hold on him there.
Oh, aren't they a lovely looking thing?
That's a big one too.
Oh, mate, I'm stoked. Have a look at that. That is, and he fought all right. Everyone's told me that they're a bit doughy, but that fought all right.
It depends on the water temperature and everything else, and he went really well. Just see if you can
get that spinnerbait out.
I've got a pretty good hold on him. Gee whiz, he's a really solid golden. That's like the ones we catch up in Lake Windermere in New South Wales. He's got, look at the shoulders on that fish, the thickness through it.
That's a little tiny head like that. They're great big. How old would he be, Steve?
4, 5, 6 years, somewhere in that range. He wouldn't be super old. They grow very fast in here, only a small head. I'll quickly measure him down here on the measurer. Okay, he's about 56, 57 centimetres. He'd be a good, he'd be a good 5 kilos. He's certainly over the old 10-pound mark.
Oh, I'm stoked. That's just made my day. Rob Mead is my hero, and I like Timber Lake.
Timber Lake is a great spot, and I've got to come back. I lost a big cod up in the timber. Bushy got a ripper. We've had a great time, and I've been here before. I love this place. The weather's gone really cold on us now, and I think that's about it for the day. We had a hot bite going there before. We worked pretty hard for this one. I'll get him back in the water for you, eh, Bushy?
Yeah.
What a lovely, lovely fish. It's a big female too.
Oh,
away
see
it
you
goes.
later.
Mate, you have had such a good day. Give me a look at that thing. Bushy bought this the other day at the Complete Angler. Had a nice skirt on it, exactly the way the manufacturers had intended it to. He cut all that off and bought this little rubber fish and stuck it on there. I said, mate, that'll never catch anything. Just not my day.